Okay, we got big panelists on this debate. Ajay, Prakash, immediate past president of the Travel Agents Federation of India. Jitendra, Bhargava against Mallya. For Mallya tonight. Now, for Mallya to the limited extent that he feels that Mallya has only gone away for a while, is Parvez Damania changing his position. Parag, Parag Tripathi of the Supreme Court. Chetan Seth is for Mallya. No changes of position. Chetan Seth is for Mallya. Meghnad Desai is for Mallya, to the limited extent that he believes that too much brouhaha is there over him. Anyway, Sambit, Patra and Pavan Verma joining the debate. Let's start with the politicians tonight, because of late, Pavan Verma, there has been an unnatural sequence of events on the Newshour where politicians are not being allowed to speak, though I must say no viewers are complaining. But I'll start with getting the politicians on the debate tonight. And we put them on the mat and then we open up the debate. Okay. Anyway, Pavan Verma, do you think the government owes an explanation to the people of this country that having let Mallya flee, they at least need to tell us what they plan to do with him, what action they plan to take against him, whether or not they are going to bring him back to this country, impound his passport, find out his location, or use the extradition treaty against the UK? But we haven't heard any of the above. It appears to me tonight, Pavan Verma, that it's the government who we are having to cajole with to do something about Mallya. Do you agree? They seem to be following the media than the other way around.
No, I fully agree with you, Arnab, because the manner in which Mr. Vijay Mallya left this country appears to be, to me at least, to be an act of collusive criminality, which is being wrapped up in some kind of minor form of government negligence, and finally will be projected as institutional innocence. The truth is that on 29th July, CBI had filed an FIR. In October, there was a lookout notice which mysteriously got downplayed to an information notice. He was interrogated. He was under investigation by the SEBI, by SFIO, and even more importantly, on 28th February, the consortium of banks were planning to move on the next day.
That's right.
A motion to either arrest him or prevent him from leaving the country. But mysteriously, again, they bring this matter up only on the 5th of March. And Mr. Mallya has left on the 2nd of March.
Very convenient.
Now, who do we ask the questions to?
Obviously to the government. Obviously to the government.
And obviously then, and to the government, and then if this has been their track record, we wonder what they're going to do to get him back.
Precisely. So you need to answer the unanswered questions tonight, Sambit, Patra. You allow him to flee India. I don't know where else in the world something like this would have been allowed to happen. I mean, what's up? 12 days since Mallya left the country. Right? Right at the outset, will you squarely state, Sambit, Patra, where is Vijay Mallya as we speak? Where is Vijay Mallya?
First and foremost, Mr. Pavan Verma was speaking against the government. Well, in a democratic country, he has every right to do so. But Mr. Verma, did you question your Mahagathbandhan partner Congress as to why the Congress allowed the...
There you go.
Where they have been roundly defeated into every discussion.
There you go, viewers.
Answer the questions raised to you.
Was I interjecting? Mr. Pavan Verma, there is one Arnab Goswami who is questioning us. There need not be two people questioning me. I am answering Mr. Goswami. So please don't shout at me. I am giving you every question.
But you're struggling a bit tonight, Sambit, Patra, I must say.
Partner as well. As far as your question is concerned, let me be very factual in this case. I mean, Mr. Vijay Mallya may be having 4 days and an option of Mumbai or Melbourne. But this government has only one option, that is the rightful intention of retrieving every penny that Mr. Vijay Mallya owes to the public exchequer. And let me tell you, this is the only government which has shown the spine and the rightful intention. Because just compare 2011, what the then Prime Minister...
Stop giving yourself a certificate, Sambit Patra.
No.
Stop giving yourself a certificate. Be specific with me tonight. No, stop giving yourself a certificate. You are giving yourself a certificate. I will ask you, I would ask you, are you aware of any offshore bank accounts that Vijay Mallya has not declared? Is that being probed by the ID? While the Debt Recovery Tribunal's order froze the $75 million from Diageo, the fact is Diageo came and said out of the 75 million, 40 million has already been paid to Vijay Mallya. Will the government of India tell us where this $40 million is? Is it in a bank in India or is it in some Swiss bank? Because if it is a Swiss bank, then you can expect nothing to come back.
Mr. Goswami.
Yes.
Mr. Goswami, do you believe the ED, the ED and the CBI to share all these final details with a spokesperson? And do you believe the spokesperson to come and speak all these final details?
Dodging it, Sambit. Dodging it.
Mr. Goswami, you know all
Pavan, Verma.
But let me tell you on the No.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing. No, Sambit Patra, viewers are watching and you are dodging. Viewers are watching, you are dodging. You are on uneven ground tonight and your boat is about to capsize. 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Why should BJP be dodging?
I'll tell you why. You listen to me. Today you are on. Tell me one thing.
Does not mean I have to take the flag.
Tell me one thing. The Congress is not in government. You're in government. Now the fact is, the State Bank of India knows. Enforcement Directorate, you say, does not share. Understandable. But please tell us, the State Bank of India is caught by complete surprise. Diageo spokesperson confirms to the media that $40 million is paid immediately on 22nd of February when the deal is signed with Vijay Mallya. You say Enforcement Directorate does not share facts with you. I feel bad for you. If the Enforcement Directorate is not sharing facts with the BJP ruling party spokesperson, I feel bad for you. But please tell me, the State Bank of India also does not share. State Bank of India says we have no clue about this.
CBI and the ED to share facts with the spokesperson. Had they shared the facts, then you would have been shouting from the rooftop. Look,
why are you fighting for your government?
It's not a caged parrot, sir. It's an independent parrot now.
Independent parrot. I'd say that's a Newshour original. It's a parrot nevertheless.
That is
original
funny.
Statement of the year on the Newshour tonight. The BJP says the Central Bureau of Investigation is an independent parrot. Jitendra, Bhargava, you buy all these arguments. I think you're in a state of shock.
Fly high, ready to pounce upon the praise. If you want those homilies and
I'm just saying, okay, Parvez.
Flying high, ready to prey upon.
Dr. Patra.
Prey upon those.
Yeah, go on.
Dr. Patra.
Hello, Doctor. They don't share things with me.
Dr. Patra, last time you kept repeating that BJP has a concrete plan to recover the money, and we asked you couldn't answer. Now, could you at least share with us the plan to recover the money?
There's no plan.
There's no plan.
There's no plan.
Could you tell us the plan? I'd appreciate that very much.
In fact, Mr. Rothgi in an interview today itself has said that if revocation of passport has to be done, if deportation has to be done, those are also available options.
No, we are saying recovering the money. Recovering the money.
The intention is to
how will you
back
recover the money? My question is not what will you do to his
exchequer.
How will you recover the money? What assets do you have to recover the money? That's what I'm asking you. You said you have a plan to recover.
That's the exact question that sir. That's definitely the reason as to why the ED is examining the CFO. That's the reason as to why the ED has been questioning the CFO 3 times over. That's the question as to why the CBI has been questioning Mr. Mallya.
I'm sorry, this government,
because the CBI wants to know the
debate with Jitendra Bhargava.
How best that can be brought back?
Well, it all. No, watch it. Just a minute. Parvez, Damania, can I say this to Sambit Patra? You're the ruling party. You're the government. You fought an election. You said you'd come to power. You let Lalit Modi go, and now you let Vijay Mallya go. You said exactly the same things about Lalit Modi.
Sir, get your facts right. Lalit Modi did not escape India during our tenure. It was during the tenure of UPA that Lalit Modi went out, and the UPA was reprimanded by none other than the High Court.
And what have you done to get Lalit Modi back? Because I clearly remember.
The party has allowed Mallya.
After all the facts,
remember, the government of the day has to move as per the provisions of law.
Really? And I'm supposed to teach you the provisions of law.
Number one,
I'm supposed to teach you the provisions of law. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll teach you the provisions of law. I'll teach you the provisions of law. This is the greatest absurdity in the longest time on the Newshour. You want to tell me about the provisions of law? Well, as per the Passport Act 1967 under section 10(3 titled Variation, Impounding and Revocation of Passports and Travel Documents, subsection C. Please see that the Passport Authority may impound or cause to be impounded or revoke a passport or travel document. You have not done that with Vijay Mallya. You want me to tell you what the law is? You choose.
No, let me.
No, you know the Passport Act.
Read out
you know the Passport Act.
Judgment of 1977.
What?
No,
What?
I know the Passport
What?
Act.
You're questioning me on facts.
Also
Okay.
The 1977 Supreme Court judgment.
67.
Since you have quoted something, please allow me.
No, I'm asking you what is the Passport Act?
The Supreme Court landmark judgment of 1977
Wonderful.
says that impounding of a passport in the interest of a general public was an arbitrary act and violation of Article 21 of the
You're making an argument not to impound the passport. This is shocking. This is shocking. This is shocking. Chetan Seth is coming into the debate. 1 second. Chetan Seth, Meghnad Desai. One of them comes in first. This is shocking.
One has to have a charge sheet and a non-bailable.
All right, Meghnad Desai is coming in. Now, I'll tell you this. You want to talk about a charge sheet? Let me tell you, Vijay Mallya left the country. Yes, go on. Okay, Meghnad.
Can I make a request?
Meghnad Desai, yes, please.
That if you have a constitution, if you have human rights, it is not up to a government, however powerful, to certainly start impounding people's passport. Vijay Mallya has not yet been convicted of any crime, nor has Lalit Modi. And you can't just go around impounding people's passport because some people think that they don't like him.
So what do you mean?
Vijay
It's not as arbitrary as that.
Lent a lot of
it's
money
not as arbitrary as that. No, sir.
Those bankers,
no.
Who lent him money should be prosecuted. Those bankers lend him money with very flimsy collateral. They didn't do any due diligence. They're totally incompetent. Now they're running around trying to arrest him.
This is like saying
they have completely messed up. Messed up, and all the PSU banks are grossly incompetent, and they should long be privatized.
Now, 1 second, Meghnad Desai. You know how much respect I have for you at a personal level. I'm sorry. Okay. Counter coming in from Pavan Verma. However much respect I have for you at a personal level, let me say with all the conviction at my command that I have never disagreed with you more than I do tonight. Meghnad Desai, I have never disagreed. Please check. That's fine. It's fine. But check out. But I'll tell you why.
I'm happy you disagree.
I'll tell you why. Because there's an extradition treaty between UK and India signed in December 1993.
It will not work. It will not work because he has not committed a crime.
Sir, I request you to. Sir, I know you have been. I'm sorry. I disagree again. Chetan Seth wants to come to the debate. Chetan Seth wants to come into the debate. Chetan Seth.
Let me rebut. Let me rebut.
That's tyranny.
Tyranny.
If you extradite private citizens, that is tyranny.
Sir, I'm sorry, but the art of overstatement has been used by you to such an extent that you have mutilated it tonight. Let me tell you that please read Article 2.2 of the extradition office. Sir, please read Article 2, Para 2 of the extradition offices between India and the UK, which reads, and I quote, any offence may be an extradition offence notwithstanding that it relates to taxation or revenue or is one of a purely fiscal character. So all you need to do, Meghnad Desai, you need to read.
Convicted. He has not been convicted.
Sir, there is a passport.
He has not been convicted yet.
Sir, I think you're on thin ice now. We're taking the argument forward.
Arnab, I think it's
Pavan Verma is contradicting. Pavan Verma, yes please. Pavan Verma.
Arnab, very quickly, from the latest statistics, 2,428,000 crores have come in terms of black money. That means 20 paisa in everybody's pocket instead of 20 lakhs. But here is a gentleman who owes banks something close to 9,000 crores, whatever the figure. Now, there's mounting evidence. This has not come up in the last 1 week. There is mounting evidence of his liability and serious money laundering and diversion of funds and financial misdemeanor. I ask you the simple question, if there is an apprehension of such an individual leaving the country, why can't the authorities act and the laws constitute precisely this purpose?
Mr. Pavan Verma.
No, but the authorities don't seem to be keen to act.
You can't do that.
The answer is very simple.
Mr. Verma,
this is the point.
Mr. Verma, I have a humble question to you. Please answer me. Mr. Verma, you have been saying that...
You are not arresting him. You can revoke his passport.
Money, which is absolutely right. But my question is, if there was misdemeanor, if there was misappropriation of money, why don't you break the alliance with the Congress? Because they were the ones who in fact promoted all this. They were the ones who were giving them bailout package worth 1,300 crore rupees. All these 9,000 crore.
This is not an answer.
You are totally off
It's not.
track.
No.
I mean,
he is taking
about
Ajay Prakash.
I'm asking
begin to talk about alliances, there is a lot that your government has to answer as well.
Ajay Prakash.
Today on these grounds.
Ajay Prakash, I'll tell you one thing. This is really strange. First of all, you claim you don't know the law. Then when I read the law, then you say, why should we do anything when the previous government did nothing? Well, the previous government was in power. You chose to be in power.
I don't know whether you respect the Supreme Court judgment or not. If you allow me, I'll read out again the Supreme
and it
Court
is quite
judgment.
evident.
I never thought. I never thought a ruling party spokesperson.
Sambit Patra.
No, Ajay Prakash. I never thought a ruling party spokesperson would come into the debate and defend a person who seems to be a twin of Lalit Modi in his misdeeds. You are defending him. Ajay Prakash.
Contrary to every other.
Ajay Prakash and Sambit Patra.
What is Mr. Patra being so apologist about? The fact is, that there has been, Mr. Patra, if you would listen to somebody else, Mr. Patra,
yes.
would you please listen to somebody else as well? The fact remains that when the State Bank of India and all the other banks were aware, why was it that nobody moved? Why was it that an FIR was not filed? If the government was aware that there was this huge malappropriation, if you call it laundering, why was it that no action has been taken until he has left the country? And now you go out and say, you start out by saying, oh, in a democratic country, everybody has the right to dissent. That was your first statement.
It's not that
of course there is a right to dissent. You talk about why doesn't Mr. Pavan Verma's party break up an alliance? I mean, there is so much that has to be answered. So let's stick to the facts, which is that Mr. Mallya
exactly, there's so much that has to be answered.
Unfortunately, not pay the dues that he was supposed to. Whether it is to his employees, whether it is the statutory dues that were required to be paid, whether it was service tax, whether it was tax deducted at source, whether it has led to people who were employees of Kingfisher Airlines having to change everything. Their children got out of school. There was somebody who even attempted suicide. Now all this is known to everybody. And then you come around and say that, oh, the ED will do this and, the CBI. Come on. I mean, if action has to be taken.
This is a classic. No. This is Ajay. You are spot on. You are spot on tonight. No. You are spot on. Sambit, 1 minute. Ajay, you are spot on. Sambit. Problem is 1 second. There is this person called P. Chidambaram. 1 second.
And finally, this government acted against it.
What did
2011 till 2015?
You think Sambit Patra, you want to take the people of this country for an absolute ride? I'm sorry, Sambit Patra, about 1 hour back, about
flouted, has not followed due process of law.
Ajay, 1 minute.
And take action without looking at what the law says, because that's what you wish to do. And now you say that the law will take its course, and because he has not been convicted, so there's nothing we can do.
The question is this: we just spoke to P. Chidambaram about 1 hour back. My reporter, Chetan said, coming to you, Parag, Tripathi just coming to you in just a second. I just want to share this. My reporter spoke to P. Chidambaram. It was at an Indian Express event. We stood up and we asked P. Chidambaram 2 straight questions. One on the Ishrat Jahan case, where he made some really ridiculous comment about making editorial changes. But in this particular case, the moment we asked P. Chidambaram that you were the finance minister, what were the banks doing? He said, please tell me whether Vijay Mallya had influence over 20 banks. And he basically asked a reporter, do you believe Vijay Mallya had influence over 20 banks? Well, Mr. Chidambaram, I'd say this to you. Be logical, Mr. Chidambaram. Vijay Mallya could not have had immediate direct control over 20 banks. But I'm pretty sure, Mr. Chidambaram, that your government had control over 20 banks.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chidambaram, don't try and twist it to my reporter. I throw back the question at you, Mr. Chidambaram. You asked my reporter, did Vijay Mallya have control over 20 banks? Mr. Chidambaram, I ask you, did you have control over 20 banks? And if you had control over 20 banks, what on earth were you doing, Mr. Chidambaram? You need to answer that question. And on top of that, Chidambaram then went on to tell my reporter that the Indian Express carried out a series of stories called the Great Indian Bank Robbery. It went up to 2002, 2003. And he said, please ask yourself who was in power then. Essentially, Chidambaram did what Sambit Patra is doing tonight. Sambit Patra takes the ball and throws it into the Congress corner. The Congress party picks up the ball and throws it right back to the BJP corner. And in the middle of all this, and you're smiling tonight, Meghnad Desai, because you know this is the great robbery of the Indian taxpayer. In the middle of all this passing of the parcel, Chetan said, the Indian taxpayer gets robbed. Gets robbed.
That is true.
Am I wrong, Meghnad Desai?
But who is to be blamed?
The politicians, the politicians. The politicians, the politicians. That's it. The politicians control the banks.
But
Chetan said.
But Mr. Goswami, we have to
Chetan said.
Arnab,
can I get
Chetan said, please. Yeah, Chetan said.
Received the first bout of loans.
Chetan said.
Arnab, can I?
Yes, Chetan said. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
A small. Okay, can I just say something? Because I think everybody in this cacophony of what is happening over here, I know Vijay Mallya personally and know him quite well. I want to tell you that he is what they call an old-fashioned nationalist. When people tell me he's run away from India, I think it is absolutely ridiculous. Vijay travels up and down, in and out, 5 days here, 10 days there. He's got businesses all over the world.
Yeah.
He is not running away from India.
Yeah.
He will come back at an appropriate time. I think this whole thing about the ED having to call him back, send him an email. He'll give you the answer.
Why?
I think the problem earlier...
Why? What is he? What is he? No, I'm sorry. Chetan said, what is he? Lord and Master of India? First point. You say he travels up and down. He travelled up to London. We want him to travel down on the 18th. What's the big deal? He doesn't have the money to take a ticket and come home.
But
you say old-fashioned nationalist. Pardon me?
I think you have said... Arnab, you have said already, I think the problem here is not Vijay Mallya. I think the problem here is the banks. I think the problem is the institutions.
No.
I think this problem that we need to tackle is...
No. 1 second. You miss. No, don't misquote. No. 1 second. Chetan said.
Plenty of individuals.
If he was an old-fashioned man, if he was an old-fashioned person, the onus would have been on him, that I call gentlemen, to return the money to the banks. Let us not forget, he's moving in a well-scripted manner to deny banks the repayment, number one. Number two, what has he done in the last 5 years? He has put his account finances in such a manner. Hold it. You can respond to me. Hang on. Please hang on just a minute. What I'm saying is that he has repositioned his finances in such a manner that they cannot be attached. The State Bank has been asking him for his list of assets. He's not been getting until 2013.
Let him speak. One of you at a time. Jitendra Bhargava is taking on Chetan Seth. One at a time, gentlemen. One at a time. Both of you on the screen. One at a time.
Defending, and it's a sad irony that we have even today apologists who believe that Vijay Mallya has done no wrong. The fact is, he's hoodwinked the banks, he's hoodwinked the system, he's ensured that the system has collapsed only because he's...
Let us
speak. If you give a loan, I can't get a loan from a bank like this. The banks that give loans, find out how they give loans, go for them.
So now agreeing the fact is something fundamentally wrong has gone in the way the loans were sanctioned. Don't overrule this fact. And that was what is called the external influence, extraneous factors that have played a key role in his getting the kind of loans when he did not deserve. And after the first 6 quarters, when he was sustaining losses, there was no chance of his airline recovering. Why were banks giving more and more loan? Can you deny this extraneous factor? And you got to be looking at this, and if he's trying to prove to be smarter, we only want, rather than stick to this passport thing, our agencies to be outsmarting him. He has proved his smartness in the last 5 years. Our agencies have now to prove that they are smarter and that they will nail him. They will get him back and recover the money. That is what the nation is expecting from the agency.
Okay, let him speak. Yeah.
Please believe me, the hands of the law in India are very deep. The enforcement director, CBI, they will find out who the culprit is. They will find out who the culprit is. They will take the action. For us to go on television now and say, impound his passport, bring him back.
Of course, impound his passport. Of course, impound his passport. Of course, I say impound his passport. 1 minute, just 1 minute.
What the kind of wrongdoing he has done. Please take off your blinkers, read the text on what he has done, and then only you will know. As a friend, Please do not try and judge him. Judge him as a taxpayer, judge him as a citizen of India, and then see what kind of...
And let me say this to the loyalist Mr. Chetan said. The per capita income of an Indian is 7,378 rupees 17 paisa. Mr. Vijay Mallya owes the country 9,000 crores to the taxpayer. If I divide the two numbers, that number is 12.3 million, which means 123 million. I'm so sorry, 123 million. That's the number of Indians you can feed with the money that he has stolen. Second point to you, Chetan said, I haven't finished. Second point to you, Chetan said, Chetan said,
he owes 9,000 crores to the bank.
Chetan said, I'm sorry to say this, he may be your friend, but he has cheated his own employees. There's an allegation that he has not deposited Provident Fund deducted from the salaries of his employees for a number of years. That is cruel. That is cruel.
He has paid heavily. He has paid heavily for a passion he had. He built an airline.
A passion.
One of the best airlines.
A passion.
Why should the nation be paying for it? Let him pursue his passion with his own money, not with the bank's money. That is what we are questioning.
Chetan, everybody is a stakeholder. The bank takes a risk.
Chetan, right now, it was a passion that he was pursuing. It was not a commercial venture that he had started. The very fact that he launched this airline on his son's birthday as a dedicated gift to him clearly indicates he had no intention of running it commercially.
Parvez, before you come back to the debate, before I come back to the debate, I want to, sir.
All of this is completely irrelevant. I'm sorry to say we are going all on the track.
I'm surprised you still call it exaggeration. There's a hard fact.
Can I request you both gentlemen to be quiet first, because I think there is absolutely no doubt that this man has fled. He cannot choose the time of his own coming. Please understand a few home truths about this man who is in his hideout. You can call him after this and tell him that instead of tweeting insanities, he should tell the people of this country why he fled the country he says he loves 3 days before the banks moved the Supreme Court to revoke his passport. Why he fled this country a day before the banks moved the DRT. It is undeniable he fled, and we say bring him back. Bring him back. One second. Parvez Damania.
First and foremost, I am no... One minute, Chetan. I am no... One minute, Chetan, 1 minute. Chetan, 1 minute. Hello. Chetan.
How hurt he is with all of this that is happening on television.
Chetan, listen. Chetan, 1 minute. Chetan, 1 minute. Chetan.
Watch it. Your friend. Chetan, send a one-line tweet that I have all the intentions of repaying all the bank loans, paying the employees, depositing the service tax. Let him issue a one-line tweet. Nation will be happy, grateful to him, Chetan. And you can then boldly say he is a great nationalist of India.
No, 1 minute, Chetan, 1 minute. First and foremost, Mallya has legally left the country. Or no, we cannot say he's fled. He went through the legal immigration process. He's legally gone out of the country.
Let him legally come back.
No, that's correct.
When will he legally come back?
1 minute, right?
No, just 1 second. Parvez Damania.
He's a great Indian.
No, right.
He flies his...
1 minute.
Just 1 minute.
1 minute. Right now, what he's done wrong is not pay the service tax, TDS, Provident Fund. Yes, he's criminally liable for that. But as far as the enforcement director and the investigation happen, let the investigation go on.
Okay, 1 second.
I'm sure once the investigation goes
on. Pavan Verma, I'm coming to you. 1 second, gentlemen. Now, please understand this. I'd only say this as I hand over to Pavan Verma, Meghnad, Desai, Parag, Tripathi has not spoken. Please understand. If Vijay Mallya is so convinced about his innocence, which we are not, why didn't he stay back in his country? Right? And face a trial to prove the same. Why is he playing that Lalit Modi victimization card to gain sympathy instead of letting the natural course of justice to take place?
Quick response.
Pavan Verma is countering right now. Pavan Verma, and sorry, Parag Tripathi, you're coming in next.
Arnab,
yes, Pavan Verma.
Arnab, I want to say there are two processes here. First is, how can an individual who has mounting debts continue to be given loans by banks without proper application of mind or due scrutiny? That needs to be investigated separately, and all those culpables should be booked. The second is that by the 2nd of March, it had become very clear. Just a second, Mr. Patra. Don't absolve yourself of culpability.
Right from the very beginning.
Secondly, Arnab, for Mr. Sambit Patra, who appeared like Mr. Vijay Mallya's defense lawyer, let me say that by 2nd of March,
who's saying?
it was very clear that Mr. Mallya is leaving the country.
There are other
Mr. Mallya is leaving the country because the banks were moving against him. How did this government allow him to leave? This is
your
the question.
Mahagathbandhan partner.
This is the question. How did the government
very unfair?
We are the ones who have started the procedure of acting against him. How dare you say that we are the ones? How dare you say that we are the lawyers of
How did this government allow him to leave?
FIR. We are the ones under whose regime the ED has gone against him. We are the ones who
and you are the ones who allowed him to go.
Not at all, sir. You are the ones. Your friends, the Congress was the one that gave
the bottom line of it.
Loan to him.
No, 1 sec. Meghnad, Desai is a question. Meghnad, Desai is a question. Pavan Verma, stay on. Pavan Verma, stay on. Sambit Patra, you're getting very excited. Sambit Patra, you're getting very excited. I want to tell you that the Central Bureau of Investigation filed a preliminary inquiry against Mallya 4 years back on June 10, 2014 for alleged default of loan amounting to 900 crores extended by IDBI to Kingfisher Airlines and the diversion of the same to tax havens such as Chemon Islands and Mauritius used for an unspecified purpose. Now, you would be very happy to know, Sambit Patra, that there was zero action on this in the last 1.5 to 2 years of your government. So don't get worked up.
Mr. Goswami, only 2 days ago in one of your Newshour debates, you had rightly quoted the CBI, that the CBI then during the UPA tenure asked the banks to file an FIR. But the banks did not want to file an FIR.
You are in government now, be answerable
for this government.
Acts of commission and omission.
In July 2015, finally an FIR was filed. Why this delay in filing a FIR is my question. Who was preventing all these years after 2012,
FIR was filed
when in fact the Kingfisher
lookout notice was
why
issued.
no FIR file against
that was diluted and before the banks could move, you let him go.
Sambit Patra, may I congratulate you. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, want to congratulate you, right, for acting. I simply want to ask you, were you waiting for this subject to be picked up after 10-part investigation on Newshour to act? What were you doing till now?
July.
Again you're going on.
Was not when the debate started, sir.
I'm
July
sorry.
2015 was not when the debate started.
Parag Tripathi, do you buy this? Parag Tripathi.
The agencies
Parag
were
Tripathi.
Well before the debate.
I think Parag Tripathi is also pro-Mallya on this. Parag Tripathi, please. Yes, Parag Tripathi.
No. I am neither pro nor anti-Mallya, but that's neither here nor there. I think, Arnab, you are right in many ways, but there are 3 aspects, I think, which we should examine, sort of once the heat dies down. One is that what has really upset the nation is that Mr. Mallya is the symptom and symbol, has become the symptom and symbol of much what we consider to be wrong with our financial system. That's one aspect. The second, which is of equal importance, is what is his liabilities. Now, if you look at it from the viewpoint of civil liabilities, then the 1500 crores which he has personally underwritten as a guarantor, very little question about it. The rest of 7,500 crores which is there, that is a little more complicated, but subject to proof of economic tort or proof of civil misfeasance is possibly recoverable, but it's not an open and shut case in law. I'm not saying in the public arena, in law. Then we shift to the third element, which is of outright criminality. That in our jurisprudence, unfortunately, there is a presumption and a requirement of proof beyond doubt. So it's not reasonable proof.
Sir,
that doesn't mean that he's guilty or not guilty.
Sir, there is a... Sir, can I tell you? Sir, can I tell you? All this is very fine. and you are a very well-established lawyer, and may I commend you for trying to build a brilliant case in defending the indefensible. My only point and contention to you, Mr. Tripathi, is that you will appreciate. You will appreciate the fact that in order to come to any convincing conclusion about a criminality or otherwise which may or may not lead towards a conviction, the gentleman has to be available in this country. Now the Serious Frauds Investigation Office. What's it? Because I'm saying this to Chetan Seth. Because Chetan Seth got very emotional in his argument in defense of his friend.
It is incorrect to say that he's either fled the country. It is incorrect to say he's fled the country. It's incorrect to say that he will not come back. I know Vijay, he is not. He will come back when the time is right. Not just some ED fellow because
Chetan said,
all the work overseas will come back to India and appear before.
What do you mean?
I don't think this is correct.
I mean, which world are you people in? This is India, not the Cayman Islands. You know, this is not Honolulu or Ibiza or one of the party destinations of Mr. Mallya. There is a rule of law that happens here. How dare Vijay Mallya say, how dare he say now that I don't feel safe to come back to India? This is the Lalit Modi line of argument. He says, I don't feel safe to come back to India. Who was the last person who said that? Meghnad Desai?
Going back, Arnab. Lalit Modi.
Huh? The Pakistan cricket team and the government has given...
Watch it. Meghnad Desai. Meghnad Desai.
The Lalit Modi analogy is very interesting.
In UK courts...
Yes.
The Lalit Modi analogy, Arnab, is very interesting.
Hang on.
Okay, hang on.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I make a point?
Yes.
Can I make a legal point?
Sorry, I have to leave.
No, Chetan said don't go. The debate is picking up now. I need you there for 10 more minutes. I'm not letting you go. I'm sorry.
I told you I'll be here at 9:30.
No. You have better manners than Vijay Mallya. You can't leave when you're not allowed to. 1 second, please. 1 second. You must stay on. 1 second. Listen to this. The point being made by Meghnad Desai, and then I'm letting you off. 10 more minutes. Yes, Meghnad Desai. The Lalit Modi analogy.
I think Arnab, they're two different people altogether.
No, they're not two different people altogether. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. Let me ask you: Doesn't Vijay Mallya's claims of not being an absconder, Chetan Seth, sound similar to the same forceful assertions made by Lalit Modi in 2010? Okay. At that point, Chetan Seth is not being able to hear. We are going to take a 2-minute break. Viewers, the question I'm asking you is, are there similarities between Lalit Modi and Vijay Mallya or not? Sambit Patra used to promise we are going to get Lalit Modi back.
Let me get on. I've got a meeting to go to.
Okay, now, when I come back on the other side, Sambit Patra, you're not off the hook yet. Back in 2 minutes. Okay, let's get some straight answers from Sambit Patra. Sambit Patra, if he doesn't come back on the 18th, what will you do?
In fact, today it has been stated by Mr. Rohtgi that his deportation, his impounding of passport are the options that the government.
What are options? You should say it's going to happen. Why looking up at them? What's optional about it?
Naturally, as you also asked, if it doesn't happen, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
that's what I am saying. If it doesn't happen, these are the options.
I think you got to be clearer than that. I think
just a little more affirmatively, that we will not let him go. We will ensure that he'll be back.
These are among the measures that are with my statements. Number one, the intention
can I see everyone on the screen?
Every penny of the public exchequer, and for that the government will go
pardon me for interrupting you. But this is typical of what we've been hearing for the last 2 years. I mean, there are promises made of this will happen and that will happen. And finally, it is just talk. At the end of the day, one doesn't see the results on the ground.
Yeah, Mr. Mallya, are you not, Mr. Patra, are you not serious?
Another story that we had where
you spoke in between.
Mr. Lalit Modi was supposed to be coming back. We heard this time and time again. Yes, we are going to get Lalit Modi back. What has happened at the end of the day? So it's the same story all over again. It doesn't matter what party is
not at all, sir. This is not the same story all over again. You are absolutely
casting aspersions at the Congress. You talk about Mahagathbandhans, but at the end of the day, there is absolutely nothing to choose between the previous government and this as far as looking after the interests of the common public is concerned. So you can keep mouthing these platitudes about the law having to take its own course and democracy allowing everybody to dissent, and that we shall bring X or Y or Z back. Do we expect
you are not prepared? It is not my fault. I'll tell you why you are not prepared.
Yes or no?
I'll tell you where you are not prepared.
Or is this just going to be another circus that we're going to be hearing?
Please listen to me. I'll tell you where you are not prepared. Number one, this is a case of crony capitalism. This government, in fact, has brought the bankruptcy law. It has brought the bankruptcy law on the floor of the parliament because...
So whose crony are we looking at now? I mean, it was their cronies versus your cronies. Is that what the game is going to be? And at the end of the day, the common man suffers because this party has those cronies, this party has another set.
Where were you? You were hand in glove with the Congress party. You were not asking the Congress party these questions all these years. And suddenly when your Congress party...
Is that the only
answer? I am not hand in glove with anybody. Thank you very much. Least of all, you or the Congress party.
Who has not taken the...
So I do not need certificates from you about who I owe my allegiance to. It is to this country and it is to the common man of this country. And unfortunately, I see only talk. I do not see results. So it's the same story all over again, in spite of all the big promises that were made about 15 lakhs coming into every Indian's pocket. Where is that money? Where is Mr. Lalit Modi? So what is going to be different about this case?
Sambit, the issue is of trust. You must understand here today. The Lalit Modi example.
Sir, the government which has not misappropriated a penny.
Calm down. Meghnad Desai is coming in.
Don't you have trust in this government?
Sambit, Patra, you may scream saying you trust us. But what we want to hear tonight is not a request for your trust. What we want to hear tonight, 1 minute, just 1 minute.
Mr. Mallya, and I have the right to give my answers. You are right. You have every right to question us.
Sir, I'm just saying one thing. Please understand, Sambit Patra. We don't want to hear about whether we need to trust you. Meghnad Desai says you can't bring him back under the extradition law. We want you to tell Meghnad Desai that you will use the provisions of an existing extradition treaty between India and the UK and drag him back. That's what we want you to be saying to Meghnad Desai affirmatively. But you don't say that.
Has already said that.
Pardon me?
When the Attorney General has said that, who do you want to say?
Yeah. Sambit Patra, after...
Why should I be saying that
Sambit Patra is the Ministry of External Affairs. I don't know why you are quivering at the thought of saying that we will do this.
You wanted to say that he would be extradited. You wanted me to say that he would be deported. You wanted me to say that his passport would be impounded. A very high authority than a spokesperson, the Attorney General of this country has said this, sir.
So on the 18th...
No. This will happen only if he's convicted. The Attorney General was very clear.
Let's be fair. In the last fortnight, there is a lot that has happened. Let's not overrule. They may not deserve 3 chairs, but at least 2 chairs they deserve. That yes, our investigating agencies are moving in the right direction. And let's hope, as you said,
was very clear. But Attorney General was very clear that this will happen only if he's convicted.
The government is determined, and as he very rightly quotes the Attorney General, I also heard that interview.
Only if
you get along with that path, you will get him back, and you will get him to pay for what he's done. You may not get the money, but you'll make him pay for it.
No, but what is meaning make him pay, not get the money back? I mean, what is the meaning of making him pay, not get the money back? There are no assets.
May not be able to do it.
There are no assets.
Who said there are no assets?
There are no assets.
Who said there are no assets? What about his assets outside India? What about his assets outside India?
How can you
What do you mean you cannot prove? What happened to his money? The money he took from the Indian banks, what happened? Vanished in thin air. What happened to the money?
It is
that's the loss.
That is the million-dollar question. What happened to the money?
So exactly. An airline. That's the loss. Please don't get
No, but one thing, I'll tell you something. One more thing that confuses me.
You should not be confused because you must understand this. One second. You must understand this. Parvez, Damania, the long arm of the law includes a little bit of logic. Now, Meghnad Desai will tell you, it's a well-known fact that Mallya has properties and assets on foreign shores.
But if they are not in his name, attaching them and auctioning them is a very different
thing. Listen to me, that is a matter of investigation. One second. Parvez Damania, don't turn anchor on the program. Sorry. No, just understand this. Even Meghnad Desai will tell you that when Vijay Mallya has assets and properties on foreign shores. It's a matter of public knowledge that a letter rogatory is a formal request from a court to a foreign court to get judicial assistance. The government of India will have to make movement to initiate a letter rogatory so you can have an international inquiry on Vijay Mallya's assets abroad at a time that he fails to pay the exchequer. So please understand, Parvez, Damania, there are agencies which can see the wheels within wheels, find out the status of the investments, find out... No, what do you mean best of luck? Don't display. No, 1 second. Let me tell you, the best of conmen has been caught, and in this particular case nobody in India believes the money has gone into thin air. Meghnad Desai, is that possible or not? Is that possible or not? Meghnad Desai. Yes,
it is possible. It is possible, but first you have to convict him. You can try him in absentia and get a conviction. After the conviction you can extradite him, not before the conviction.
Obviously,
we are talking about
obviously,
the
obviously.
If there is no property
in the right direction,
if there is no property in his name, see, he has been able to get loans by offering collaterals which did not belong to him.
Absolutely.
The banks made mistakes, and therefore now they can't recover that stuff because he said this is not my property.
You see, that is why the bank officials also need to be hauled up for what kind of collusion that they arrived at or agreement they arrived at with him and advanced loans when there were no sureties or collaterals to be taken.
I think Meghnad Desai, I'll tell you this simply, a blatant disregard to the gravity of the situation. Enforcement Directorate, Central Bureau of Investigation, which Sambit Patra unfortunately calls an independent parrot, and the Finance Ministry have stepped up investigations against Vijay Mallya. His idea of not partaking in letting the truth come out is the fact that I want to feel safe. That is ridiculous. I think he spoilt his case out there. There is Mr. Sambit Patra. Let me tell you clearly. As of this minute,
let the debate, I wanted him to stay back, and I wanted Mr. Pavan Verma to ask Mrs. Sonia Gandhi as to who pressurized the banks to give the loans. But before that, Mr. Pavan Verma fled the debate. His passport should have been impounded in the Newshour tonight.
Mr. Patra, you're running a government. You can unveil the whole thing. Please explore, please investigate and make it public.
Okay, we have breaking news coming in on the Newshour. I thank everyone for joining me on this debate. Now, this government cannot arrest Vijay Mallya, but it has just arrested Chhagan Bhujbal, top NCP leader, Sharad Pawar's right-hand man in Maharashtra, former revenue minister, has just been arrested.